everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we have an Assassin's Creed Shadows update for you. We got a lot of information about how stealth's going to work on this. Apparently Ubisoft is going to be releasing articles. I think there's 4 of them altogether. The stealth came out this past week. We're getting combat next week, and then I don't remember what the other 2 are, but I will be making a separate video for each one in the future whenever they get released. I know it's been a couple days since this has been released, and I know a lot of YouTubers have already covered it. However, I do want to put my 2 cents in there because I've seen lots of videos, and I see a lot of people getting a little confused on a little bit of how this works. I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my ability to how I understand it. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Oh, and by the way, I will be showing screenshots of the details as we go along, and then I'll give my opinion, but this is basically where I'm reading from is these screenshots themselves. So anyway, let's get right into this. First off, with a new stealth philosophy. Stealth gameplay in Shadows has been overhauled in a few key areas. First, the most obvious change for AC players will be the lack of a companion eagle. So basically what they're saying here is no more eagle. So no more eagle from, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and even Mirage. There's no more eagle that is like your eagle vision, basically. There's no companion, no bird that's going to be flying above you to mark enemies, find little collectibles, or even whatever the eagle did. I mean, you all know what the eagle used to do. So there will no longer be an eagle. Let's see. In Shadows, players must rely on their main character's own sense and engage enemies in a more tactical movement-to-movement manner. So basically, it's just going to be like the older games before there was ever an eagle. There will not be an eagle. You will only have eagle vision, basically. What do I think about that? Well, that's I don't mind that change. I never really liked the eagle personally. I mean, I did, but I didn't. I didn't mind it, I should say. But I'm really glad that it is back to just eagle vision, though. I felt like using an eagle, especially in Odyssey, Valhalla, and Origins, the eagle was like, I don't know how to quite explain this. Just the way they did it in Valhalla, or I'm sorry, Mirage, was a lot better. If you went to a restricted area, one guard would start shooting at the eagle, which made kind of sense. I liked that iteration. I liked how that worked, but in the other 3, they didn't do that. So I'm really glad that they changed it in Mirage, but I'm also glad that Shadows will not have one. So that is good. Let's move on to the next category. Alright, so here's a new part of Eagle Vision, which is called Observe. Both Nawe and Yasuke have access to new Observe mechanics, which delivers a fast and easy way to toggle additional information on screen. Observe allows you to identify targets, tag and monitor enemies, and highlight lootable stashes, collectibles, and quest objectives. While on a sync point, it also allows for a close examination of nearby locations. So basically what they're saying is on a sync point, I think that means a viewpoint. So while you're on a viewpoint, if you use Observe, you can, I guess it'll zoom in to like a location, and it'll just like, I don't know, maybe show you like stuff that you might have already tagged, or even stuff that you haven't tagged. I don't really know exactly how that works, but it just sounds like you get a close-up view of a certain location from a viewpoint, that is. The new Observe mechanic is the new Observe mechanic is at the core of the Assassin's Creed Shadows experience. When in doubt, take a pause, absorb the world around you, and only then should you decide what your move should be. So Observe is a good way to observe the area and plan out your attacks and, see what enemies level are, if they have the skull, if they have a number. Should I attack this guy? Should I attack that guy? Oh, is this guy gonna fight me? Because apparently there's also, and we'll get to this a little later, there is more mechanics and different enemy types. So once again, observe just allows you to observe the area. So alright, let's move on to the next. Eagle Vision. Nawe has access to the classic Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision, which allows her to highlight the position of enemies hidden behind walls and other objects, and isolate any relevant sound they make. Eagle Vision is a more deceived stealth mechanic, encouraging Nawe to slow down and take a moment to better visualize her enemies and relevant gameplay objectives, including hiding spots. So basically what this is saying is, well, I mean, if you played Assassin's Creed, you know how Eagle Vision works. It's basically like that. This is classic Eagle Vision at its finest, and it's just exactly how it is. Both Observe and Eagle Vision work independently, revealing different sets of information. Both Nawe can combine both concurrently to reveal, observe, and tag enemies through walls, a very useful habit to have if you don't want to blunder into a room full of samurai waiting for you. So what this little paragraph is saying is that Nawe can use both observe and Eagle Vision simultaneously and basically use them together. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. Alright, so moving on to Shinobi Moves. Hiding in the shadows. For the first time in the Assassin's Creed series, hiding in the shadows will make you invisible to enemies. So, literally the shadows. So any kind of shadow will make you invisible to enemies. During nighttime, any pockets of shadows become a distinct hiding spot in which you can progress without being seen. This applies to both interiors and exteriors. So, any kind of shadowed area is going to be your friend. You are working in the shadows, not just hiding spots like hay bushes or even bushes, tall grass, the shadows themselves, which we saw that in some earlier gameplay earlier in the year. The ability to use shadows in this way invites you to carefully study your environment for hiding opportunities and routes, or create them yourselves by destroying lanterns with a shuriken, or I guess like a throwing knife. Basically, think of it like that. But I think you all know what those are. Nawe is a perfect compatible shinobi in broad daylight, but the cover of darkness gives her a remarkable edge over her enemies, especially on higher difficulty settings. So basically, for Nawe, she is going to be our stealthy character. I'm sensing a little pattern here, just like in Syndicate. Evie was more of the stealthy character, and Jacob was more of the brute force that can go in guns blazing and beat up everybody if you really chose to do that. Kind of the same premise here. Nawe is our stealthy character, and Yasuke will be our guy to, go into battle areas and just be unstealthy, basically, and go full-on support and beat everyone up. Now, there is a little bit of a difference. I'm hoping anyway. I believe the skill tree should be different. They're not going to be the same like Syndicate, where Evie could eventually earn her way up to becoming a Jacob character, basically, and going in and guns blazing if you wanted to do that with Evie. Now, again, we'll get into this a little later, but I did see that Yasuke could be stealthy if you choose to do that, and I think even Nawe could go in guns blazing if you wish, but it's not going to work the same way that Syndicate did. So anyway, let's move on to staying low. While Nawe is fast, sprinting while you're attempting to be stealthy in a highly populated environment can be risky. The sounds of your footsteps will alert guards who will spot you almost instantaneously. In general, standing up increases your visibility, so this is where crouching comes into play. Nawe can move quite slowly while in a crouch, with the sound of her footsteps considerably reduced. So basically, like in other Assassin's Creed games, crouching is more stealthy, but in Shadows, they kind of expand on that. When you're crouching, your footsteps are even quieter. So in this game, if you run in a restricted area and you're trying to be stealthy, if there's a guard like maybe 20 feet from you, he's going to hear those footsteps and he's going to turn around and see you just like that. So crouching is the way. So once again, stealthy, not being seen, you want to crouch. You want to move slowly, especially if you're trying to be stealthy. Crouching is also participally, I think I mispronounced that word, but I apologize. Affects indoors, minimizing the sound of a nightingale floors. Specifically designed floors that creak whenever someone steps on them, for example, or reducing the chances of bumping into noisy objects. So apparently now, certain floors, which again, if you do go to the sites that I am reading all this information from, they do show clips. Right now I can't show those clips. I have no way of saving them and adding them in. But I will link down in the description down below if you guys haven't seen them already. I will link the website and you guys can go watch all of the clips that they show you. Which, this is one reason why I'm very excited for Shadows. I cannot wait for Shadows to come. It cannot come any sooner. Like, when this information got leaked out, or actually not leaked, but got announced, my excitement went back onto the roof, and I'm excited for Assassin's Creed again. So, once again, these floors are going to be like special floors. If you walk on them or run on them, you are going to be loud. But if you're crouching, or I guess even prone, because that's a new ability in this game, and we'll get to that later in the video, you will be very silent when crouching, or more silent. You won't be totally silent, but maybe there'll be something in the skill tree that be like, oh, doesn't matter what floor you're on, you're silent for good. I don't know if that's going to be in the skill tree. That's just my personal prediction, but we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, let's move on to going prone. Here we go. Naoe and Yasuke are the first protagonists able to go prone in the series. Going prone reduces your visibility to enemies even further, rather on the ground, on rooftops, or underwater. So that answers some of the questions that some people are getting confused on. Some people only think Naoe can go prone. No, both characters can go prone. So going prone means you are just like back in, I don't know, a few months ago in the gameplay that we got. We saw Naoe being able to crawl. That's going prone. So she can crawl underneath buildings, probably in small places. Yasuke can go prone. You can crawl through tall bushes, grass, even underwater. You could swim underwater going prone in the water, which we saw in the gameplay once again. And that was, if you stay under, she actually took out a tube so she could breathe while she's under the water, which is really good detail, really great, great thing that they added. For Naoe, going prone comes with its own set of movements. By pressing the dodge button when in prone, you can roll to the side, front, or back, a useful maneuver to quickly employ when a guard approaches. Keep an eye under buildings too. You might just find an opening you can crawl under. So once again, like I said, Naoe can go under the buildings if there's a small enough area. Yasuke cannot do that. He's much bigger, obviously. But Yasuke can still go prone. As for Naoe, you can dodge to the left, right, forward, back if you wanted to. It don't matter. You can dodge while proning, basically, or move faster, especially if there's a guard. Like if a guard walks past you and you're in the bushes, you could totally just roll, get them, roll back if you wanted to. So that's like a cool little move set that they added. Anyway, let's move on to the next category. The Shinobi and Assassin Arsenal. Naoe doesn't have to rely on her stealth moves alone. She has 4 primary tools at her disposal to help ensure a quick kill or getaway. Smoke bombs. Obviously, we know what smoke bombs are, but a classic assassin tool that creates a cloud of smoke, allowing you to escape or assassinate low-ranked enemies without being seen. Shinobi bells. The perfect tool to distract enemies. So think of it like in Mirage, the trap, or I guess even the whistle, maybe. Think of it like that. It lures enemies. Uh, the perfect tool to distract enemies by throwing a bell. You can lure enemies away from their posts or create an opportunity to sneak past them. Okay, I cannot pronounce this one. They're basically a throwing knife that is extremely sharp, that deals a lot of damage, and can result in one-shot kills when aimed with precision. Once again, I cannot pronounce that. I apologize, but if you go back to the screenshot, you will see what I'm talking about. And then, of course, the fourth and final one is the Shuriken. They are sharp, star-shaped throwing weapons that momentarily stun enemies. So think of it as like the stun. Once again, maybe the think of it maybe like the blow dart, maybe a little bit. But you could throw them in the environments to cause distractions and stun enemies, basically. So these aren't going to kill your enemies, but they are good distractions. So not really too much to say there. So let's move on to the next category. New ways to hide and kill. Nawe is our smallest assassin to date. And she uses that to her advantage. She can squeeze through tiny wall cracks, and she can hide inside small storage spaces and boxes in order to get the drop on her enemies. So once again, with her going prone and her ability to go through small spaces, she can also hide in small spaces. She can get in through some small cracks in the wind or the walls. She can get in the boxes. So she is our smallest character. Now, this is where a lot of people started giving a little hate and also a little confused on what they mean by that. I see a lot of people getting a little antsy about them stating that Nawe's now the smallest character to date in the series. A lot of people are saying that that should be the Chronicles China protagonist. I don't remember her name. I apologize, but I just gotta say one thing. Really, y'all, like, come on now. Like, who gives a crap? You know, like, stop complaining about who really is the small one. Like, they're trying to explain the new mechanics and what this means for Nawe, and you guys are looking at it the wrong way. Just my opinion, though. You can think what you want, but just don't give hate to the new mechanic just because you think that what they say isn't true as far as, you know, who the smallest character is. Like, who cares who the smallest is? Now, let's move on to some good news. Double assassinations are returning, which a lot of people are also getting a little confused on. What do they mean? Does she have two hidden blades? Is she going to do it with one like they did in Syndicate and Unity with an upgrade? Well, let's find out. We know that players are always looking for efficiency in their stealth runs, and this is why we are bringing back double assassinations in Assassin's Creed Shadows. By equipping the Tanto as one of your main weapons and unlocking the dedicated skill, so it is in the skill tree, you can eliminate two enemies standing next to each other at once with your hidden blade, whether you're on the ground or from the air. So, just like in other Assassin's Creed games, double assassinations are making a return, and I cannot wait for it. I think the last time we saw it was... I know there's a way you can double assassinate in Mirage, but it's technically assassinating two people at different times, just together, if that makes sense, because you have the button and prompt to assassinate and then you have to assassinate again. That doesn't really count. What I'm talking about is you have two enemies standing next to each other, you're above them or you're behind them, and they both like shine red and you can assassinate them with one push of a button, basically. So double assassinations are back. I am looking forward to doing that a lot. So anyway, let's move on to grabbing enemies. While undetected, you could briefly grab and drag enemies in any direction to silently assassinate or take them down non-lethally. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, if you want to assassinate someone from a stalking bush, you have to manually grab them, pull them in, and only then can you dispatch them. So, a lot of people are getting confused on this part. So let me try to explain this for you. In recent or any other Assassin's Creed game, if you're in a stalking bush, if an enemy gets really close to you, you have a button and prompt that allows you to assassinate them from your hiding spot. In Shadows, they're kind of changing that. What they're doing is you have to manually grab them from your hiding spot. I'm assuming there will be a button and prompt to where you can grab them. You can grab them, pull them in with you manually, and then manually hit the button to assassinate them. So, now, if they get too close, will there automatically be a button and prompt to assassinate them? I don't know. They did show what they were talking about. Once again, if you want to see, it's in the description down below. You can watch all the clips that they've sent on that site in the link down below. What they showed is Nawe snuck up on an enemy, and you had an impromptu to either grab or assassinate. Now, as far as what I just read, while you're in a bush, it said if you want to assassinate from them, I'm assuming what they're talking about is you have to grab them, pull them in, and then assassinate them while you're in a bush. A lot of people are confused on what they exactly mean by that, and it's exactly how I described it, is you have to grab the enemy if he gets too close, manually pull him into your bush, and then you can assassinate them, just like it says right there. This is not all. While we cannot cover everything in this article, know that there will be more stealth opportunities to discover once you get your hands on the game, including falling. So basically, I can't pronounce this word because of my speech problem. I apologize, guys. But basically, in the winter time, because there's going to be different seasons in this game, those icicles from like snow on top of buildings, you can knock them down and they could like hurt enemies or even kill them if they're lower level, I guess. Including let's see, you could also distract guards in the winter with those stuff. Or swift assassinations through the Shinobi doors. I apologize if I mispronounced that word, but apparently through doors, some certain doors you can assassinate enemies, which I think we saw that in the gameplay that was shown early in the year. So anyway, that's grabbing enemies. Let's move on to the enemy tactics. This is where it gets me very excited. Enemy tactics. While you have plenty of ways to hide and eliminate your targets, enemies will respond in ways that will make your life more difficult when you make a mistake. Servants, for examples, are a new type of non-lethal enemies that will alert guards upon seeing you. While they can't fight, their ability to call for reinforcements and raise alarms makes them just as threatening as enemies who can. Servants have their own patrol routes, so it's important to keep tabs on them while using eagle vision. They will stand out by appearing in orange. Okay. So once again, in another video I saw, some YouTuber and some of his audience are getting confused on this part. Okay, so I saw a YouTuber claim that this must be a target. This is not a target. These are what they call servants. These guys don't fight. They will get reinforcements or sound alarms. Now, they appear orange in the eagle vision. So, what these enemies will do will reinforce the area and sound the alarms if you're spotted by them. Or I'm assuming if they probably, spot a dead guard, they will raise the alarm. So these guys are important to keep tabs on, stay out of their way, or if they're in your way, you need to eliminate them or knock them out. So in this case, if you see an orange guy, they will not fight you. They are still enemies, but you need to be aware of them and you need to be careful with them. When infiltrating heavily guarded positions such as castles and fortresses, different districts each exist as their own individual areas. This means that you should get caught. This means that should you get caught in one pocket, you can still recover, re-engage, and keep your stealth run going without having an entire location bearing down on you. So once again, if you are seen in this small area, yes, they will reinforce that area that you're seen in. However, you can hide, get out of plain sight and hide, and lose their awareness, I'm assuming, and you don't have to leave the entire area, and the whole area ain't going to come out on your throat, basically. They're not going to come get you from that. So you just be careful and just plan out your tactics, which I am very excited, and I can't wait to see how this is in the full game. All right, moving on to the next category. Suspicion and investigation. If you get detected and are able to disappear again, enemies will search for you in pairs, one watcher and one seeker, and will remain more suspicious going forward. That means that tactics such as whistling to lure them in will only increase their suspicion and thus their ability to spot you. So, what this is basically saying is if you get detected, uh, yes, you can lose sight of them, but their tactics are going to change. So they're going to search for you in pairs. One's going to watch that guy's back while that guy is searching for you, basically. One hider or watcher and one seeker. So the seeker is going to be looking for you while the watcher is going to watch his back, basically. So no more of enemies searching for you for a little bit and then walking away just in different directions. They're going to walk away in different directions in pairs now. And one guy is going to be following. So basically, think of it like as the buddy system in the Arkham games. That's how I basically see it. Is when the guards say, hey, "Hold it, let me watch your back," or "Hold on, let me go with you," or whenever guards buddied up, they walked back to back. While one walked forward, one was walking backwards, watching his back. Think of it like that, I guess. Only maybe a little more better. So, yeah, that's how I see it anyway. This can have an impact on your ability to assassinate from a hiding spot, as these suspicious guards will be more likely to get in the way if you are not cautious enough. Okay, so one more thing that I forgot to mention in the first paragraph. Whistling is now going to be part of their new tactics. So if they hear you whistling after you've been detected and they're searching for you and their tactics have changed, they are not going to respond like older games when you whistle, they're going to come to your location. They're going to know what you're doing. You're trying to lure them away. So they're on to you about that. So whistling now has a, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap, I had the word, then I forgot it. It's gonna impact you if you get spotted and you're gonna still whistle. Don't do that. You're gonna get I don't want to say punished, but that's the best word that I can come up with. So just be wary. Stealth is your key. It is your Oh, I had the word again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing this early in the morning, so I do apologize for that. But just stealth is your friend. It is your ally. Anyway, let's move on to unique enemy behaviors. Focus on the samurai. Here we go. This is the part that some people also got confused on. Certain enemies will present unique challenges to your arsenal. For example, Example? Oh my gosh. For example, samurai cannot be assassinated when caught in a smoke bomb, as seen in our clip above. Once again, it will be linked down below if you guys want to watch the clips for yourself. Instead, they will quickly evade the smoke area. This contracts the with the soldiers or servants who can be assassinated in smoke. Samurai are also more prone to deny assassinations, and they can even silent slice bushes when searching for you, which removes options to hide. So samurai can literally cut your bush in half and you cannot hide in there anymore. They can cut bushes. If you're in there and they cut the bush, you're screwed. You better start running, maybe even throw a smoke bomb before they can and run a different way and try to get into another bush maybe. Samurai are fearsome enemies and cannot be taken lightly. Once alerted, they are hard to trick in lore, as they assume that any trick you use are just that, a trick to lure them. This will force you to adapt and think harder about how you get the drop on them. But every challenge brings new opportunities, and smoke bombs can become an effective tool to samurai if you are looking for a quick escape. So, samurai are fearsome enemies. Apparently, these are going to be like, think of those special soldiers in Mirage where they were hard to beat. These are what samurai are going to be, basically. But just because they run out of smoke doesn't mean you can't use that to your advantage. So if you get seen by them, you can throw smoke. Their worry is going to be getting out of the smoke. So what you could do is throw smoke at their feet. They're going to be worried about getting out of the smoke first, while you're just running away. You can run and maybe even throw a smoke bomb at your feet if they keep following you. And then they're going to try to stay out of the smoke, so they're probably going to stop at the smoke while you continue to run, is what I'm getting from this and my prediction for what you can do. Alright, Assassinations Denied. This part, ooh, I can't wait for this too. Alright, Assassination Denied. Through Shadow's progression system, it is important you focus on developing your stealth skills and abilities. Enemies will have level based on their basically above them, so if you neglect the Hidden Blade upgrades, you may find that stronger enemies can completely deny your assassination attempts. When approaching a target, a white assassination prompt includes an instant kill, yellow means that you will deal some damage, and red signals that the enemy will completely deny your attempt. When it comes to assassination, progress and context works in hand. Invest in perks that increase your assassination damage and test things around. A strong enemy may survive a frontal assassination, but may die from a sneaky air assassination. Okay, so this is the part where I do kind of agree with some of the YouTubers that I saw complaining. I do agree with them when they are complaining about the whole Hidden Blade being able to upgrade. So they're basically bringing back, think of it like in Assassin's Creed Origins or even Odyssey, where you have to upgrade your Hidden Blade or the spear itself. In Odyssey's case, you have to upgrade it to continue to be able to at least assassinate certain enemies. I don't think that's how the Hidden Blade should work. Now, in Odyssey, I can see upgrading your spear. I can see that a little bit. Even though that basically is your Hidden Blade in that game. But I never liked how that worked. I didn't feel like upgrading your Hidden Blade should have anything by that. Which, in Syndicate, you could upgrade your Hidden Blade, but I don't believe that the level of Hidden Blade stops you from sneaking up on a person and assassinating them. I don't think that's how that works. So, if it was a system like that, I'd be okay with that. But as far as keeping it leveled, I don't like that. But now, thank God that they are putting an option in the menu that allows you to do insta kills on all enemies. Thank goodness they're doing that, because that I'm gonna have that on for my playthroughs. But anyway, let's move on to Stealth and Yasuke. And finally, as you saw, stealth and Yasuke. This is the part that a lot of people have been asking about. Can Yasuke be stealthy? While Yasuke is very much built for direct close quarters combat, you can still be stealthy when equipped with his bow. Using this ranged weapon, you can engage enemies from a distance without ever needing to draw your katana or sword. If players are careful, Yasuke can also slip behind foes and deliver a devastating assassination with his melee weapon, blending stealth with a more direct combat approach. While we'll have more on Yasuke's skill in our next combat deep dive. So he's going to be our combat deep dive, basically. This one's more on Nawe. The next one's going to be more on Yasuke. We hope that you enjoyed this look at some of the stealth features you will be able to play around with in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Stay tuned for our next overview where we will focus on combat. So once again, stealth was Nawe, and combat's going to be more Yasuke. Now, as far as stealth with Yasuke, I like it. I'm glad that they're giving you an opportunity to be stealthy with Yasuke. I want to see if there's a way that he could be totally stealthy. Maybe have a stealth portion of his tree, skill tree, I mean. So I can't wait for that. But anyway, that's basically everything that I had to say for today. I hope you all enjoyed. This was a great overview for stealth in the game for Nawe, Yasuke. We got some more gameplay mechanics. We got more things returning, like double assassinations. I cannot wait for this game. Like I said before, this whole article was the whole reason why I am back in Assassin's Creed. I'm ready for Shadows. We're going to be doing lots of Assassin's Creed content. No death runs will be making a return very soon. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section below. Remember, in the description, I will link the sites for you guys to be able to read and watch yourself if you want to watch all the clips that they provided. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace. If only I could